What's up guys, Shouri here, and today we're going to talk about Scotty. First, you got 7 shots that do 1400 body shot, 2800 headshot. Then you have a web that also does 1400 damage and webs them for 2 seconds in place. Then you have a roll that can get you out of a lot of stuff, but it also refills your ammo capacity. Then you have an ult that does 5k damage and can shoot through walls. And then the passive is one of the best in the games, gives you a 4200 headshot. Now that the basics are out of the way, we're going to talk about the first thing you need to learn, which is the super jump. The way to do the Skadi super jump is super easy. All you got to do is tap roll and then hold web. I like to jump first to get the extra lift, and remember you got to release web, so I like to turn around to get the extra boost. And now you know how to Skadi super jump. This is what makes it so crazy. You can actually get on top of the map, and you can use the web to put you in any direction you want, or you can just go straight across at the beginning and just start a fight. It's one thing that you do have to be careful for because your roll will be down and the web as well for a little while, and you do need to wait a bit till you can get out. You can super jump in and get out, or you can just super jump and then make sure you hold that web until you find someone, or you can use it to boost yourself into a different direction or just further by turning around it on 180 degrees. It is one of these things that you will have to get used to, but over time you can do it at nearly 100% accuracy, and it's just so good because nobody sees that Scotty flying in. I mean, it'll give you a total surprise advantage, and you can kill people with the web, instantly go in there, and you can be an absolute game changer. Especially if you got a Johnny Jet that's annoying, you can take him out. When you super jump for distance, one thing to remember is to turn for speed. You can get so much further if you do a 180 and then you turn around, and then after you hit the web, you do another 180. If you don't do that, you'll just bounce right back into yourself, and it does absolutely nothing. But that's not all. You can use it to super jump onto other places that you wouldn't normally be able to get to, so it's very useful. Scotty has different utility in control and payload, so we're going to start off on control. So one of the best things about Scotty is the fact that she has so much movement. I don't always use the roll for reloading because the movement ability, just keeping it and then being able to just surprise people and get away, is so important because Scotty's a big target. If they just leave you alone, you're gonna end up killing everybody, and you are kind of an easy target to kill compared to other characters, and they will go for you. So having that extra little bit is really nice to be able to roll out, especially if it also reloads. So if you can kind of combo those things together, it's really smart, and it is just a really nice character to put in a ton of damage. And if you're jumping around, as long as you land on their head, it'll auto fire into their head a lot of the time. The further away you are, the less effective it is, but it's still nice to get those pot shots in because that little bit of damage will actually help your team a lot of the time. And if there's a neon, it'll help your team be able to two-shot if there's something like a Judex or a Christina. So it can actually be a very valuable thing to put in that damage, and you can always roll in and just kill them, and it really helps that you did a little bit of damage before because you can make sure you get that kill. And then we're just going to hunt down this tank since he has no shields, and as soon as we kill him, we're going to get back to our team because Scotty is so good as a team player. That's one thing a lot of people don't really think about with Scotty, is the fact that you can get away is awesome and it really helps, but another thing is you need that extra damage. Your teammates like Gloria's and other things that do a lot of damage, Christina's, they can get that damage and you can rush in there and you can clean up those kills. And then if there's something like an Aletta or a Kazama, you can always web them, and it's kind of your responsibility to kill them because you can actually kill those heroes a lot easier than other characters. I usually go for body shots on Aletta and Kazama, but sometimes I'll just run around. I mean, it's not only a character that's really good at killing people, you're really good with your movement. So you can kind of just stay up, and you don't need a tank, you don't need a healer, you can just contest the hill sometimes, and you have to. This one's a really hard one, and all my team gets back up, even though I was left alone. They all spawned and came back, and we're still alive. We're just putting in shots to shields. That way our teammates have an easier time. We have a Gloria, it's just an easy kill after we get the shields down. And you can get those wins just based off that alone. It's not always great to use your super jump. Sometimes in the beginning I do at the front of this map, but if I'm not at the front, I usually save my web because I know I'm going to need it. Right here, we do web the Christina, and we go ahead and go for the next guy right after because wallying is just a pain. Luckily, my teammates went over to the wasp so I could go do other things. I go to the hill to make sure we cap and help our tank because he did need it. Like I said, Scotty's a big team player hero, and you need to make sure you're doing everything your team needs. If your team has people in trouble, you want to go to them because you can get there faster than a lot of other heroes, and that means that you can get in there and get those kills. Another thing, you might have noticed I'm not rolling or webbing. Whenever there are a lot of Christina orbs around, you don't really want to just like launch into things because you can launch into all 3 orbs and just absolutely destroy yourself. Right here, I am waiting for my iris to get back because I knew I was screwed after I hit that first orb. And right here, I'm just going to go ahead and take advantage of the fact we had a fade bubble. As soon as I realize it's gone, I'm getting back to try to help the Christina. And then we see our tank needs a little bit of help. So we're going to go up and see what we can do. He seems to be fine, so I'm going to go back on the other side. That's what I pretty much do every time on Scotty, is I make sure that I'm there when people need me. I could hear a little bit of footsteps and like people shooting. It ended up being on the bottom. I figured they were going on top for high ground, but they didn't, so I go back down. It's always good to check because high ground is the worst. When they get people up there, it can be just detrimental to your team, and since you can't shoot people from far away with Scotty with max damage, it is always good to get in there. You have a lot of damage drop off, which just means your bullets do less damage the further you get away. This is definitely a medium to short range hero, so you do have to kind of play around that. You don't want to try to start really long range fights with people, especially if they have high ground on you. It's much better to just use your abilities to get around them and just kind of be able to fight them at a better angle for you. If you can get into a medium range on pretty much everyone but Christina, you are golden. On Christina, you're just going to have a hard time because Christina's Christina. But luckily on this map, you can super jump over that little barrier. Right here, we just waited for the shell in case they teleported in, and also we didn't want to take the damage. Luckily, we were able to kill the shell as soon as he came out, and then the Aletta has us right here, and our healer's kind of far away. The second that they stopped shooting us, we went in. You don't always want to retreat on Scotty. One great thing about Scotty is, one, your ult gives you extra armor, which is always nice, but also you can regen 3 bars of your health / armor because you have armor. So you can kind of live a little bit longer, even if you have low health, because you know that that will regen. Right there, I saw some people coming, so I got back towards my team and just waited at that window for someone to come around that other side. Perfectly, the Christina came in, fell into the trap, and now I'm just jumping around, making sure I web whoever comes if they do, which they didn't, so we were able to win. For Payload, you need to be an absolute monster with your webs. It just helps your team so much if you can take out these guys like Christina with your webs, and you can use your abilities and movements to be able to kill people, and also the fact you can shoot through walls with your ult's nice too. But going around and just trying to put in shots, you don't necessarily even need to get kills. It is nice when you can, but if you're just getting them low for your team, that is great. It's similar to Aletta in a way where it's awesome if you get the kills, but you're just trying to put in damage and keep yourself safe because you don't want to come in too close and you can't be too far. So it's just great if you can get in that medium range. Make sure that you're trying to go for those Alettas and do your very best to get them. If you see a healer, make sure you switch to it because you can get around shields really easy with your jumps and just absolutely dominate. On old Medina, you're an absolute force to be reckoned with. You do a lot of damage that can help your team end up getting the kills, and in some cases you just end up getting them all. And if people don't wall peek you, you can end up killing them, and the best part is you can get behind them when they're in power positions. And right here we saw that there was a Gatlin and a Gloria, so we made sure to be careful before we started shooting, and that's how we got them both. As some of you may know, I play solo a lot, and so sometimes you're not necessarily going to be the best team player because sometimes your teammates just aren't going to be there for you. Right here, I don't know what my healer's doing, and they're probably busy with other things, so I make sure to go out, get the heal to keep myself alive since I was one shot, but then we come back and just do our thing. The great part about Scotty on this map is the fact that you can just do such huge headshot damage that can just take people out so quickly, and then if anyone flanks you, you can always get out of there with your your abilities. Right there, we use our web to be able to just get out, and we are running away, letting our guy be able to take out some damage on his Christina, and then we just make sure we don't leave him hanging. We gave him a good bit of support, we webbed and killed the Fade, and now we're going to go back because our healer's in trouble, and we're able to get him, and then we just need to get back to our tank on the cart, which is a great job he's doing. I tried to web just in case I could get the invisible Aletta, but it didn't end up working out. Luckily, we are able to go behind him. He already hit teleport, so it's a super important kill to get. So we are going to chase him here because he already teleported. He can't heal again. So we're going to get him, which we do, and now we're going to go back to our team. It's okay to flank around with Scotty. It's basically what you should be doing. But if you are too damaged, it's okay to wait and then go get a heal. You dying and going to respawn isn't always going to be the best. You also need to make sure you see who's up on your team. And if you ever see an Aletta or anything really coming close to you, you want to get away. You really want to play at that medium range because short range can really screw you up. A lot of things can do a lot more damage at short range, and at medium, you just have a better chance at being able to hit those headshots. Just make sure you're watching your back because it really can help. On old Medina, not gonna lie to you, there's a certain spot I like. I always start up here just because I want them to see me as being on the side of the map, but I always like going on the right side. The right side's the best part of the map. But you do want to move around a lot. I don't always end up doing it just because, I'm not gonna lie to you, I like people to know where I am because it makes the clips look cooler. But I wouldn't suggest that if you want to win. But you can still win with it. Right here, we are going to get these guys pretty low, and we had a rough offense. I'm not going to lie. We didn't even get one piece of the hill. But that doesn't matter. Hey, if you got a good tank on your side, you can do anything. And our Neon's pretty good. Our Osis literally can't hit a shot, which is great, you know. Love when Osises do that. But I am going to stay on this area here because I have a ton of heals. I can see most of the lanes they go through, and it's just a much better part of the map for a Scotty. You can get a lot of people at medium range right here, and you have all the mobility in the world with so many different things to get around. You have these little canyons behind you. You can go up the stairs if you need to, around the truck. There's just so many different lanes right here. It is an absolute god spot for Scotty, and so I like to stay here a lot. Right there, we go ahead, hunt down their healer, and that's going to allow our team to do everything on the other side. I'm basically just a giant distraction, and I'm just jumping around. I don't care if they know I'm here because my whole team's on the other side. If they focus me, I'll just run away, and then my teammates will shoot them in the back, which is basically what ends up happening. They all go for me a bunch. I get away. My teammates come in and heal or shield me. Right here, I just know that I have the kill, so I'm not worried. I realize, oh god, those are really bad shields. I should do something. Luckily, my Osus finally hit a shot. I mean, I guess you have to kill it for him to have him do that. I really don't like that Osus, by the way. But luckily, my Jabali gets a kill, and now we are able to move forward. We see that Gatlin shooting. We want to help our team, but we have to wait for a tank. The second I see the Gatlin moving up, we are definitely going to be on him, but I also have to know that there's going to be people above me. And so that's exactly what we do. We just make sure that we're going to live, because remember, if they touch the point basically at all, they win. So we have to live here, and basically, my team's just taking a lot of them on. They stopped coming for me, and then the Gatlin up top. Luckily, we were able to take out quickly, and now we do need to go back to the point, because you have to help your team. If they stop going for you and you don't see them, that means that you're in the wrong spot, basically. And so as long as it works, I always love the right side, but sometimes you have to do the others. He is wall peeking me, so what we're going to do is go to different angles. I realize he's going to still kill my teammates, so I'm just going to go over here and wall peek him. And then he ulted me, which was just super not cool, man. Like, not nice. I'm trying to make a Scotty video. Why would you ult me? But we were able to actually teleport out of it, so we're good. And this Fade's right next to me. That was the scariest thing ever. And then I see this guy hit him with 2 headshots. Like, it was absolutely over. And then our tank does a great job to help get that Johnny Jet. And now we are going back to see what we can do on the Walling. He wants to run away, which is fine. I'm just going to look for everyone else. And now we are just going to hide in here. I see the Fade. It's my responsibility to always go for the Fade. You can web him, which is absolutely shuts him down. You can do a lot of damage to him. And I also like to get the bubble just because it helps my teammates get them freed up for other things. Right there, I wanted to roll to make sure that I didn't die instantly, and we were able to get it. Alright guys, I hope this has helped, and I hope you all have a great day.